aside from January 6th, Donald Trump is the guy when asked, who do you want to win this war in the Ukraine? He won't even answer the question. He gave Vladimir.
He said, I will end this war. I don't want
in 24 hours. Yes. He said he'd end it in 24 hours. And now all of a sudden it's 6 months. So that's another lie.
He's not the president. He can't do that. That's like saying, you know,
Donald Trump said, when I'm in office, I will end the war in 20.
Not in office yet.
Right. Okay. So you think the war is going to be over January 21st?
I think there's going to be a peace envoy sent there immediately.
So he'll end the war in 24 hours. You stand by his statement.
I don't say he'll end it. I think there'll be a peace envoy and there'll be people at the table within 24 hours.
Okay. Well, we'll see about that. I tend to disagree. But when you talk about evil, murderous dictators, Donald Trump is the guy that sided with Vladimir Putin over our own intelligence. He's the guy who sent COVID test kits to the Kremlin when we were losing thousands of people a day. He's the guy that writes love letters.
COVID test kits don't work.
COVID test kits don't work. Okay, I don't want to touch that one.
Stopped using them because of that. So I'd send them to Russia too.
So COVID test kits don't work, and you don't think anybody should have ever used COVID test kits?
I'm just telling you that we have proven that those test kits do not work.
I don't know where you're getting that information from, but I'm not even going to touch that one because I'm not a doctor, and I would assume you're not a doctor either. But all I'm simply saying is he's written love letters to Kim Jong-un. He's cozied with evil.
Like a tweet that says, meet me at the DMZ, let's talk.
He's actually said he's wrote Kim Jong-un love letters.
I don't think he said. I don't believe
he has. He said he actually has said that. You can look that up. So if you want to talk about cozying up to evil, murderous dictators, I think Donald Trump is the king of that. And for everybody that says, "Oh, he was so tough on China,"
Maduro and Xi are just great because that's who Joe Biden hangs out with. President Xi from China and Maduro from Venezuela. Those are his buddies.
What do you mean that's who he hangs? I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, he had Xi to the Washington, D.C., to the White House more than once. Yesterday, he had the new president for Venezuela, a dictator.
So inviting somebody to the White House to have a conversation is quote unquote hanging out, like having a beer with your buddy.
It's different when he has a conversation.
Oh, no. It's not about a conversation. I don't have a problem with a conversation. If Donald Trump wants to have a conversation with evil, murderous dictators, I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is praising them, praising Vladimir Putin.
Saying he's a good guy.
Not only a good guy, but a smart guy. He said the same thing about Kim Jong-un, writing love letters to evil, murderous dictators.
I don't know about the love letter part, but let's just be honest with each other. I'm not a Russian fan, but Putin is a smart guy. He is smart. He's managed to maintain power in that country for many years,
killing hundreds of thousands of people.
I'm not saying what he is. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm not saying that I like him. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying he is smart.
Okay, well, I don't think we should be praising evil, murderous dictators that kill hundreds of thousands of people. I don't think we should be praising a man who Donald Trump just said he understood. He just said he understood why Vladimir Putin and Russia invaded the Ukraine. They invaded a country. Thousands and thousands of innocent people have died.
The country voted to go back to Russia. Crimea voted to go back to Russia. They wanted to be annexed onto Russia. And what happened? That's a fact. You can look it up.
Do you agree with Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine?
No.
Okay. Yeah. Would you agree with me?
They voted to secede from Ukraine and go back to Russia.
Innocent people in Ukraine certainly did not want to be invaded. Would you agree with me that we need Ukraine to win this war?
I don't want us involved in this war.
Okay, but I didn't ask you if you...
I don't care about it.
You don't care about...
I don't care about that war. I care about... Listen, I have 3,500 families that are going to be out in the cold in less than 5 days. Do you think the Ukrainians are more important than the people here in Western North Carolina?
Okay, but I didn't ask you. I didn't ask you. I know, but I didn't ask you who's more important. We can have that conversation, Margot. Who do you want to win this war?
I don't want to be involved in this war. I don't think we should have ever gotten involved in it.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. Okay, that's a different conversation. Happy to have that conversation with you. Who do you want to win this war?
I have no opinion on that.
You have no opinion. So an evil, murderous dictator invades a country that is our allies. And when I ask you, who do you want to win the war, you don't have an opinion. When the Nazis and Adolf Hitler and the Nazis,
we helped we actually allied with Russia in that war to defeat Hitler.
Did you have an opinion on the Holocaust?
Of course I do. It was wrong. Okay. It's horrible.
Okay, we agree. You don't have an opinion on Vladimir Putin invading Ukraine.
I just said I don't have an opinion on this war. I don't think we should have ever happened.
Okay, well, I agree with you there. I wish it never happened, but I'm surprised that you can't just say, yes, we want
I
Ukraine
want
to.
it to end.
I agree.
I don't
I
think there's
agree.
any winners. I don't think there's any winners in this.
Right,
I
but
don't. I
Ukraine
don't.
is our allies. Vladimir Putin
They're
invaded this
not our,
country.
neither one of them are our allies, and if you think they are, you're crazy. Neither one of them
Ukraine
are
is our
allies.
enemy.
I don't think Ukraine is our ally. I don't think they're our enemy. I just don't think that they're doing things with the money we give them for the right reasons, because the people aren't getting it.
I understand that you have some policy disagreements, and I think that's a very fair conversation to have. I'm just surprised that when an evil, murderous dictator, and that's exactly who Vladimir Putin is. I don't care how smart somebody might think he is. He's an evil man who's responsible for killing a lot of innocent
I agree
people.
with that.
Okay, so we agree. Why not just say, geez, we want to conquer Vladimir Putin and we want Ukraine to win this war? Why is
I
that
don't
so
think
hard?
that'll happen. First of all, I just truly don't believe Russia is a huge country with massive resources. It's sad to see both of these countries losing their young. They're literally both losing their young.
And why is that happening?
Because they're at war. I mean, I'm not dumb. I know what's going on here, but I don't think there's any winners here.
Of
I
course
think
there
it
are no
just needs
winners.
to stop.
I agree. All I'm saying is
And I
I
don't think
don't
there's any
want.
winners in any war, by the way.
All I'm saying is I don't want Russia to win, and then they're going to take
They've
over
already
Taiwan.
won. They've already won, and I'll tell you why. They annexed Crimea, and they're never giving it back. So no matter what happens from here on out, they've won what they wanted. They just moved forward from it.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Do I think it's right that they invaded that country? No, I absolutely do not.
Right. And that's why I want Ukraine to defeat them, because I think Vladimir Putin is not just a threat to this country, but countries, quite frankly, around the world. That's my personal opinion there.